Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you the Revenant Kraft's Panther Awakened. Kraft's Panther is one of the monster tanks which can be used in the special Halloween mode, which is available from October 28th till November 1st, 2016. The awakened form of Kraft's Panther takes greatly reduced damage everywhere except its turret. It moves slower than usual, but is almost impossible to track. And it does not reveal its position when spotted, and can blend in with the tank wreckage around the Dead City map. This last point is very important to note, and you'll get some great examples of what it is throughout this game I'm going to show you. I'm excited to show you this tank, so let's roll out. The monster tanks play on the Dead City map in encounter battles. This is a modified version of Himmelsdorf specifically made for this Halloween event. Kraft's Panther has the same ammunition types and gun performance during this Halloween event, so it means you won't have to adjust your game style very much to play it. You can see in front of me there's an identical Kraft Panther. This tank is just part of the scenery, but they are scattered all around the map, which allows the Kraft Panther to blend into its surroundings, and it really confuses enemies. I have detected a Kraft Panther, and I have also been detected, but neither of us are going to show up on the map because of the special ability that this tank has. The easiest way to find a concealed Kraft Panther's location is to auto-lock onto him and then just go from there. However, you're going to have to be careful that the Kraft Panther you're shooting at isn't hiding behind one of the scenic Kraft Panthers. With this absence of visual aids to help people detect you, Kraft Panther can fire and still remain undetected for a long time. So make sure that you take advantage of those extra speculative shots that you'll get. Now we get to see the Kraft Panther in some action. Get my first shot there on a Spectre tank. I definitely could have continued moving forward at this point, but this was my first game, and I had seen already a couple Kraft Panthers get swarmed by the Spectre tanks, and so I wanted to err on the cautious side. Most players who are using the Spectre tanks are constantly moving around, as they should be, but this makes it quite hard for the Kraft Panther to get some clean sniping shots in. It's usually best to just fire if you have a Spectre in your sights, and just let the random number generators do the rest. I find the glowing red lights all over the Kraft Panther to be pretty cool, and I also really like all the groans that are coming from the tank. If these were permanent additions to the tank, I probably wouldn't like them as much, but for a fun Halloween mode, it's an awesome addition. The speed reductions on the Kraft Panther make it a little painful to use at times, so it's usually more enjoyable to play it as a defensive tank. However, in this case, there was no shots from back there, and I'm slowly crawling up. The lower armor on the Spectre tank is quite bouncy, but if you shoot at the turret or some of the upper hull armor, you'll most likely go through. I'm going to leave my teammates to finish off that last Spectre tank, and I'm going to find a new target. I got a little bit of tunnel vision here and was focusing on the Spectre tank on top of the hill. I didn't notice the Kaiju O-I approaching me in the street in front of me. Thankfully, I didn't take any damage from this mistake. I could have switched to APCR rounds at that moment for a little more reliability, but the penetration of the AP rounds is pretty good, so I accepted the challenge. The Kaiju O-I's charge would have been a lot more effective if he had to switch to his flamethrower. He is definitely in range, and there's no way I would have walked away from it without some sort of crew or module damage. The reliable penetration of the Kraft Panther allows me to get out of that situation without taking really any damage. I believe that since the Kraft Panther's special ability is to take less damage in all areas except the turret, that the ram did not do as much damage as it could have to me. Now I get the enjoyable task of shooting at an almost non-existent Spectre tank up on the hill, but the RNG appears to be on my side, and I get to kill him within a few shots. It took me a while to notice, but there was a sneaky Kraft Panther just on the road in front of me, and I get to lock onto him now and get a good rear shot on him, but I should have aimed for the turret where I could have done more damage, but I try to aim for there for the rest of the shots. It's a hard habit to break, to just shoot at turrets instead of at the hull armor, but it's necessary if you want to overpower the same tank. If I had been paying closer attention to the tactical situation, I would have noticed my light tank flanking around behind these two Kraft Panthers earlier. However, I was just focused on sniping the enemy's turrets rather than watching the mini-map. It's very unnerving to watch your teammate engaging two enemy tanks, and you can't see them on the map. All you see is your friendly tank's health going way down as he catches on fire. I'm too late to save my teammate, but I'm going to avenge his death. The Kraft Panther is just around the corner here, but I don't notice it at first. Thankfully, my opponent doesn't seem to be aware that the Kraft Panther's turret takes more damage than its hull in this game mode. This gives me quite an advantage, but I'm still quite worried because I don't know how much health either of these Panthers have. I'm keeping my hull armor as angled as possible, and thankfully a lot of the shots are going towards there, and I'm bouncing quite a few of them. I didn't find a need for APCR rounds in this situation because I wasn't shooting at the hull, and the turret armor of the Kraft Panther is reasonably weak. Now I've got my second opponent coming around the corner at me. I have no idea how much health he has, but my strategy remains unchanged. Aim for the turret. And thankfully, I got him in a few shots. A celebratory shot at my teammate is needed for this occasion. Now let's have a look at the post-game stats and see how well I did. I lost a little bit of silver this game, and I did not gain any advantages for having premium time activated, but losing silver is a common occurrence when you're playing the monster tanks in this Halloween event. However, you get to make up for it with the monster drop, Monster Among Us, and treat operations. In this game, I destroyed 5 enemy vehicles and got 3,915 damage. This is the best game I've played so far for this Halloween event. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 931. I managed to do a bit of module and crew damage this game. I injured a commander and a loader. I destroyed a turret ring and damaged a radio. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this game and that it offered you some useful insight into how to play and how to destroy the Kraft Panther in this Halloween game mode. Stay tuned for more Monster Awakened tank games.